to start. My name is Norm McGackey. I'm the coordinator for Career and Technology Education. We want to welcome all these great students here tonight. It takes a lot of guts to get up on stage here. Don't be nervous. We're just going to have some fun. Thanks for the parents coming out and supporting us for the second annual Startup Frederick. And we want to thank some people. The format, what's going to happen is we're going to introduce the MCs here, and then we're going to start the competitions. We're going to roll through that. At the end, we're going to give about 10 minutes, 15 minutes for the judges to total, and we're going to award a $2,000 scholarship, first place. So if there's one person, they get all $2,000. If it's 2 or 3 people, they split it. But every person here walks away with a $100 gift certificate, or every team. So if there's one person in your team, so you guys can take your parents out after this, Visa gift card. That's what I would do, okay? I want to thank, first of all, like the teachers. Can we have the teachers stand up there? Come on. Thanks for all the teachers being here, supporting. Thank you. I want to thank Miss Liddick at Career and Tech Center, the hors d'oeuvres that we'll eat after that they made at the Career and Tech Center. We want to thank the Chamber for their partnership, LaunchGen, and the Career and Tech student, Mike Manning, for filming tonight's event. Okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Norm. It's my honor to have in our audience tonight and acknowledge some of our VIPs. I should introduce myself. I'm Michael Kurtianik. I'm representing the Chamber of Commerce tonight. And what a great thrill it is to be here for the second year in a row, to see the exhibitors, to see the students put in all their hard work, and maybe some of you will go on into greater things out into the world, and we'll be here to support you. It's my honor to introduce a couple special guests in the audience. First, Dr. Michael Marco. He's a Deputy Superintendent for Frederick County Public Schools. Michael? Sitting in front of him, because he has a longer title, so he has to be closer to the stage, is Dr. Kevin Cuppett. He is the Executive Director of Curriculum, Instruction, and Innovation at Frederick County Schools. Kevin, thank you for being here. We're honored to have the President and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, Elizabeth Cromwell. Elizabeth? It's pretty easy tonight. Just follow the program. The kids are nervous, I know, but you guys are going to be great. And in the program, I want to draw your attention to an insert for an Entrepreneur Council Awards banquet that is occurring this June 14th at the Walkersville Social Hall. That's put on by the Chamber of Commerce and the Entrepreneur Council. I say that to say this. Last year's winner of Startup Frederick was nominated for the Youth Entrepreneur of the Year Award. I can't say if they won or not, but I can say that if you continue to do your good work this summer, this fall, and next spring, maybe you can follow in their footsteps at next year's Entrepreneur Council Awards banquet. So think about that. Everyone is welcome to join. Just go to our website for that. Let's see. Oh yeah, now the MCs. Really excited. They've been backstage putting on their makeup, getting pampered and everything, and I want them to, as I call your name, I'll ask you to just come on out to the stage. First we have Kelly Witherill. She's a senior at Tuscarora High School and an Emmy Award-winning director and producer. She has completed 3 years of study in the Frederick Career and Tech Center's web design and television multimedia production programs. She is the creator of Inside the Arts, the YouTube/cable series that covers the visual and performing arts in Frederick County Public Schools. She likes Broadway musicals, portrait painting, and Russian ballet. Kelly plans to attend Ryerson University in Toronto, Canada to study media production. Kelly, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thanks so much.
Kelly's partner in crime is Levi Trumbull, and he is at Urbana High School and the Career and Tech Center also. He is an avid student with a passion for digital film and TV communications. He is best known for hosting his cable and web series Around the Block, in which he covers key events around Frederick County. He is also known for being the director of the Frederick Cable web sports series CMC Spotlight, in which county athletic champions are interviewed. Levi also holds first place in the Skills USA States for TV video production, and good luck to you. He will be competing in Louisville, Kentucky. He's also won several national video contests. After high school, Levi plans on getting a degree in TV and film production, as well as a business or communications degree. Please give a welcome to Levi Trumbull.
It's an honor, thank you.
Show's yours.
All right, well, welcome everyone to Startup Frederick 2017. We're your hosts, Kelly Witherell.
And my name is Levi Trumbull. Now I know tonight is going to be an exciting moment for everybody to witness your business-minded FCPS students share their product. Now, with that being said, Kelly, would you give an overview of this year?
Sure thing. Startup Frederick creates an exciting and real-world learning environment for our students to experience what it's like to be an innovator and an entrepreneur. We're excited to bring all the drama of Shark Tank to every school in Frederick County tonight. So, Levi?
Each high school had their own competition within their building. Tonight, the first place winners from each school will compete against each other. The students will have 3 to 5 minutes to pitch their idea, and then 3 to 5 minutes to take questions from our judges. The winning team will receive a $2,000 scholarship, and each of them participating tonight will receive a $100 gift card. Thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for sponsoring the prizes tonight.
The students will be judged on 5 categories: creativity and innovation, product service and clarity, market potential, competitive landscape, and operational sustainability.
Tonight, we have 3 very special judges. Our first judge is Derek Bowens, CPA. He is a franchise owner at Colbert Ball Tax Service. 18 years of insurance experience to include risk financial management and workers' compensation claims management, combined with 5 years of personal management with the U.S. Army in Georgia, Alaska, and Maryland. Consistently recognized for excellence during audits as well as reviews.
Welcome. Up next, we have Robert Bauer. Mr. Bauer is an economic development consultant with the U.S. Small Business Administration. He works with entrepreneurs, startups, and small businesses to help them develop business plans, find funding, and grow their operations. Mr. Bauer is himself an entrepreneur, having founded and successfully exited several startup businesses, and he is currently an active angel investor with the Mid-Atlantic Angel Investment Group.
And last but certainly not least, Tammy Feaster of Spherian. A veteran HR manager, Tammy Feaster has been with Spherian Staffing Services, a staffing, recruiting, and workforce solutions provider for more than 20 years. She owns offices in Frederick, Hagerstown, and Martinsburg, West Virginia. A graduate of Ligonor High School, Tammy continues to invest in the Frederick County as a steering committee member for the Generation Connect and a member of Frederick County Society of Human Resource Management.
Let's jump right into our student competition. Up first, we have...
From Oakdale High School, we have Reese Plant and Kara Watts with their team, Eternity.
Welcome.
All right, we good? All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Reese Plant. I'm the co-founder of Eternity, and this is my partner, Kara Watts. Now, before we get into it, I'm going to start you guys off with a little story. We're going to talk about a girl named Alyssa. Alyssa, her entire life, wanted to be a veterinarian. In her junior year of high school, she got the opportunity to go down to an amazing facility to see what it was like to be a veterinarian for a week. Now, while she was down there, she discovered she may not have fit some of the hands-on requirements it really took to be a veterinarian. But while she was down there, she discovered she still loves animals. She just wants to do it in the background, develop new medicines. So we are Eternity. Eternity is going to help students like Alyssa save money, save time, help them decide in career pathways, and we will be helping high school and college students. Now, like what I just said, we will be targeting high school students, college students, high school and college guidance departments, transition education teachers, and the reason we've decided to branch out to high school students is because the school district like our own, FCPS, that offers internships to high school students. So we want to be a platform to help connect those people. So our business outlook is we're going to have a free download on the app, and with a free download, we're going to include some sort of banner advertising. And when companies join us, they're going to pay an initial fee, and every time they post an internship, they're going to post a posting fee. And we're going to offer a featured page where companies can pay a weekly premium. So to get to goals, our short-term goals is to advertise as quickly as possible. We want to advertise to all the social medias. We want to try to reach as many schools as possible, if that means one-on-one or attending regional or state seminars. And we're hoping to include many large companies in our program to help support our name. And in the longer term, we're hoping to work with private institutions after we finish public and possibly help college students apply for internships abroad.
All right, guys, so our competition is pretty limited. Scholly is a scholarship search. And then internships.com is an internship search, but they don't have an app. Way Up is an internship search and an app, but they require a college email to create an account with them, and they also don't have a very accurate search engine. With the help of our coordinator, we actually searched education on their app, and it came up with hairstyling. Our necessary resources is, of course, money for startup, technology to run the app. We're going to need to hire an advertising and marketing team, and we will also need to hire a team to build the app for us. Why us? Well, we are the target market. Reese and I are both juniors in high school, and we will need this kind of material to know exactly what we are going to do with our lives. Our app will also give students relevant job opportunities. We will have a more accurate search engine than our competitors, and we will also have a simple download and usability for our users. And then here are our screenshots right here. On the left, you see the search engine, which is actually pretty unique compared to our competitors. You can actually put in your interests, what school you're attending, whether you're in college or high school. And then on the right, you see our featured page, which the companies are going to be paying weekly premium to post their internships on here. And you will also see this page when you first open up the app.
All right, to finish you guys off with a powerful statement, 62% of graduating college seniors have to get some form of internship. 50% of those people are going to get a job offer from that company. Internships create jobs.
So I love this concept because I have friends right now that are trying to get their, kids prepared for college, and I've heard several times, where to find scholarships and so forth. So this is a great idea. I like it. My question is, the businesses that are going to advertise, what type of target businesses are you going after? Because these are individuals that are applying for sources for internships, college applications, but what type of businesses are going to want to post advertising dollars to this group?
I mean, most businesses would be interested because it can help increase employee quality, and it can also help grow local businesses by having a way to advertise themselves. So,
and will the businesses have to pay for the internship, or will that be a free service offered to the student, or to the applicant, I should say?
Do you mean like once the internship has been created?
Yeah, like if I'm a business owner and I want to come to this website and say, hey, I have an internship for the summer, do I pay to post? Like, is that going to be a service that's paid for, or is that I link up my information and then the applicant can funnel through to me?
The only thing you have to pay for is just posting the internship, but everything after that there is no charge regardless.
Okay, thanks.
So I have a question about money or financing or funding. So I know you guys are going to advertise where businesses can actually pay a premium weekly, monthly, quarterly. How do you intend to get your initial startup funding?
Initial startup is considered to possibly be through a loan, family loan, is where we're going to get our money from.
Okay. So do you have anybody already targeted for the upfront funding? Family, friends?
Family.
Yeah, but do you already have those people kind of targeted who you would actually go to ask questions for funding? I mean, you're saying family and friend, but do you already know who the family and friends are? Is what I'm kind of
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I have a question about the scalability of the idea. Is this something that you can take nationally? Do you see it becoming a franchise at some point? How do you scale?
Well, we're going to start small because it's going to be impossible to go nationwide immediately. So we're thinking we'll start in Frederick County to start off, and we'll kind of be like a growth. We'll start here, and we'll kind of slowly spread our way out across the nation, east to west, until we can finally fill up the entire nation, and that's when we're going to take our plan to go international.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
That was Eternity from Oakdale High School. Up next, from Walkersville High School, we have Mackenzie Edmonds with Baby Proof. Let's get a round of applause.
Hi guys, my name is Mackenzie. How are you guys doing tonight? Good. Alright, so my company's name is Baby Proof. So as you can see, that's our logo on the front. So first, just the executive summary, a couple things that we're going to go over today, the company description, who I am, why this is important to me, things like that. So first, the company description. My idea for Baby Proof is to have a company that will go out to clients' house and to examine their home and kind of evaluate it and look at the dangers that can be present for small children, because a lot of parents know what's going on, but they don't really know what to look for or how to prevent injuries. So that would be my job, to go out and to look at these things and to supply the home with things that would prevent that. So like baby gates, cabinet locks, things like that. Safety is my #1 priority for this. So vision and mission statement. My vision is to have 1,000 homes baby-proofed by 2025. And just really to focus on the safety of the children is for this. So who I am, I'm the sole business owner of this. I'm expected to graduate this June, so I'm a senior at Walkersville High School. I have many siblings and many cousins, all of which whom are younger than me, so I have a lot of experience with younger children, a lot of babysitting and everything else like that. I've attended a few classes on how to take care of children and how to deal with them. And I have an uncle with Down syndrome. This is kind of what gave me the idea for this whole business. His name is Jesse. He gets into a lot of things like the cabinets, and he wanders outside sometimes, and he has gluten allergies, so he gets in the cabinets and eat things he's not supposed to, and then he feels bad. Or he will get into things and, he has the potential to hurt himself. So that is kind of what came up with me trying to prevent these things from happening rather than dealing with the aftermath. So the financial plan, I would need around $80,000 to get the company up and going. Around $50,000 just to find a vacant office space to have like the store and the office and everything else. And then additional expenses would be like the van, the electric and everything else, and hiring the employees to get everything running. So the market analysis, my target market is expected parents, or grandparents, or any sort of caregiver that could be interested in this kind of thing. So, as you can see by the chart that I have on the side, you can tell that there's a lot of people in Frederick County. This is a graph of the population of age in Frederick County. So age 5 from 10 is one of the larger populations from Frederick County, and then following that is 20 to around 30, 35, 40. So that's going to be people who are having children and things like that. So the target market is pretty large for this. So the marketing plan, I'm going to have the lowest prices available for these things, and during the first week of the sales, we're going to discount the prices further to keep people in the door and to get the company up and going. Also focusing mainly on radio commercials and flyers and by word of mouth, because as my business teacher says, that is one of the best things that you can have. That's an example of one of the flyers that would be up and around town and things. So it has a description and the office hours, the phone number, and the logo at the top. So Baby Proofing Montgomery is one of my largest competitors. They're the only other place in Maryland that offers similar services to me. And the people who run Baby Proofing Montgomery, Bill and Bobby Bruner. Bill Bruner is the only advanced certified professional childproofer in the Washington, D.C. area, which is something that I would look into getting before I end up pursuing the business. And their services include the home safety evaluations, the childproofing consultants, things like that. So my organizational plan, I would be the head of the business. Then you have head of sales and head of installation, and then below them would be like the other sales employees and the crews that would go out and install the things in the business and everything else. And there you go.
Could you explain a little bit more about your pricing model and where you might purchase the items that, if in fact you are purchasing them, that you'll use in the homes?
So if you were to invest money in my company, what that would go for? Is that what you're asking?
No. How much would you charge for your services, and where do you
Okay.
get the materials that you're using to baby-proof the home?
Okay, so the home evaluation would be completely free. We would come out to the home, we would look around, assess the dangers and things like that for the children. That's all completely free of charge. We would express our concerns with you and share things that we have that would need to be fixed in the home and everything else. And then my plan is to partner with the company Safety First. They provide a lot of baby-proofing things, such as the baby gates and the cabinet locks and things like that. And also we have a price match guarantee. So if you find somebody else who is selling the Safety First products, we will match their price if it's cheaper than ours.
Walk me through when you go to see a client and you go into their home. What's the installation process is going to be like? So if you come to my home and you walk and you do a kind of an evaluation, if you tell me what the things you're looking for that may be a safety hazard.
Okay, so I would walk around the home, I would look to see if you have any tables with any sharp edges on them, or any staircases that could possibly be a danger for the children falling down and injuring themselves. I would also look around and see if there's any cabinets that are within reach of children who are maybe just starting to walk or crawl, any drawers or anything like that, and especially anything like, a lot of people keep their kitchen chemicals under the sink in the kitchen. That would be a big one, to look and make sure that that cabinet is locked and is protected from children who are crawling around, so that way they can't get into that thing and harm themselves. And then after the evaluation is done, we would have a list of concerns and we would share that with the parents. And then we would take it from there, you know, expressing what products we would recommend for that and everything else. And if the parents choose to purchase our products, then we would order them from Safety First, get them in, and then come to the home within a week or two and then install them. And then as the child grows and their needs change, or if our products fail, we would come back and replace them free of charge. And as the child grows, we would come back and reassess what needs to be changed or anything like that.
So I want to say that I thought it was great that you did as much research and presented about your competitor. I mean, to know the names and what kind of history they have is definitely a good way to start. My question is, your goal line is 1,000 homes within the first year, right?
It's by 2025.
2025. Have you looked at the plan of the dollars invested as to how many employees you're going to have to sustain that goal? Because if you're going into certain homes, not saying you can't use power tools, but there are some homes that are set up for safety features that are going to require certain types of maybe carpentry or some types of tools that may not just be Safety First. So with a partnership with Safety First is secured, what about some of the safety features that might go beyond that? Have you considered like that you might have to get other partners or employees with special trades to have to install?
I have considered, as far as with the installation crews and the people who are going out, they're not just going to be people that we go out and hire off the street and, you know, who have no experience or anything like that. I want somebody who's going to be experienced with using, you know, the possible power tools or anything else that's going to need to be used while installing certain products, especially with baby gates, because you're going to be needing power tools to do that kind of thing. And I would like somebody who knows what they're doing, knows how to handle things, and if something goes awry or sideways, they would know how to fix that instead of, you know, having to tear into the customer's wall or rip up their carpet or anything like that. Somebody who would be able to think fast and be able to know what to do and still have the product be there and effective.
What about extended partnerships and costs that are involved? You know, I'm not saying that Safety First wouldn't be a good one, but what if you came into my house and I told you I'd had bad experiences with some of the Safety First products? Had you thought about what type of partnerships and pricing you would have to have as resources for a specific home or buyer that you would have?
I would have no problem going outside of Safety First and using products from other companies or anything like that. But before I would feel safe bringing a product into a client's home and using it for their child, I would like to do research on the other companies and make sure that their products have good ratings and good experiences, and that there's nothing that seems to be constantly defective with their products, just to ensure that the children are going to be safe.
Okay, thank you.
Our next competitor from Brunswick High School will be Rachel Beal with her team, Zephyr. Her company is Beal Industries. Let's hear it for Rachel.
Alright, so my name's Rachel Beal. I'm from Brunswick High, and this is Zephyr. So wind energy is good, right? Well, it's not that simple. Some people don't approve of wind energy because of the negative effects. For example, thousands of birds and bats a year die because of large wind energy turbines that are found on wind farms, such as those of GE Power. And added to that is the noise pollution. With so many large wind turbines on those wind farms, they can cause masking, which is the inability to sense environmental cues for animals, like if a storm is brewing or a tornado is coming, like they wouldn't know to go to safety. It can also cause deafness, behavioral abnormalities, such as leaving their territory or not having the urge to reproduce and continue on their species, as well as heart and lung problems and elevated stress levels. Also, the deep digging required for large wind turbines can cause disruptions in the habitats below the earth. Another thing is wind is fickle. It's, as you can see here, only about a third of the country is good for wind energy, and we are the #1 producer of wind energy. So why should we really care? Like, renewable energy is already great, so why try to make it even better? Well, using fossil fuels, eventually in the next few decades we're going to run out of fossil fuels. Also, it's causing climate change, which is not good for the earth, and we need to start reversing that in terms of things like wind energy, like Zephyr. So one thing about Zephyr is it's small scale, which means it has little to no environmental effects. So that means no dead birds and bats and no deafness, everything like that. It's also affordable. I'll be selling my product for $500, which 6,000 to 8,000 of my product is the same amount as one large-scale wind turbine. Also, it's more aesthetically pleasing, and that people won't find it an eyesore, and then, of course, they wouldn't want to live near it or something like that. So another thing about my product is it's oscillating. That means it goes back and forth like this, and the way it will operate is I'm going to put it on the side of roads, and as cars go by, there's air turbulence that forms at the back of the car, and that swirls around. And you notice as you drive by, grasses tend to swirl, and the force that that creates pushes the blade down and then moves the whole device back and forth, and the gear track on the bottom moves the pinion gear, producing energy in the motor found there. So it's a roadside wind turbine, and one of the things, some of my competitors that have roadside wind turbines, first of all, there's no actual built wind turbine currently on the market because of the fact that they're vertical axis wind turbines. And the problem with that is they're all pressure-based blades. And the way that works is that it's an airfoil blade, similar to an airplane blade, where the air rushes around the curved end of the blade to meet up with the flat end of the blade, creating a low pressure zone where it pushes the blade up to that area. So the air turbulence that's formed behind cars swirls, as I said, and that's not the best for a vertical axis blade. So that's why oscillating blades work better in this instance, and that's why this product will actually work on the side of the road, unlike certain ideas. One of the things that someone could do is Arizona State University, a student there, they tried to create a vertical axis wind turbine where it sat vertically above the highway.
However, due to having to be tall enough for an 18-wheeler to go underneath it, it can only pick up the air turbulence from the 18-wheeler. Now you may be saying, how is this safe for someone driving on the road? Well, the thing about this is from here down, we'll be underneath in a box, which leaves all the valuable, expensive parts of the turbine underneath, which cuts cost if a car were to crash into it. Also, that means that if a car were to crash into it, the driver would be less injured because only the blade would be sticking up. And the blade will be, in the future, made out of plastic, so it can easily snap and then hurt the driver even less. So cost is really important. It costs about $200 to install and create the turbine, and as I said, it'll be sold for $500 with a 60% profit margin that will help to pay employees as well as equipment. However, I will need a loan for equipment to start out, as well as paying certain employees. In terms of marketing, I'm going to pitch to the EPA about investing in this product because the government owns the road, so I'll obviously need to get their support. I will also be going to companies that will have billboards on the side of the roads where I could light their lights, lighting up the billboard. And one of the things about this is it can be used all over the world because the energy that comes from here doesn't have to go back into the power grid. It can go into lamps, lighting billboards, or even batteries, which could help third world countries. So invest in the future, invest in Zephyr. Thank you.
Well, excellent presentation, great understanding of the technical side of this. And I wanted to know, have you produced a working prototype? And then also, what do you think about the patentability of this idea?
Yes, so this actually is a working prototype. I've taken it out on the road and had my parents drive by and had a multimeter and it produced electricity. For initial prototyping, I had it in my backyard with a large board, a cardboard board that would go back and forth at a constant speed to simulate a car. That also worked. That's how I got the blade design that I have. I tested 17 different blades and then tested it at different angles for how it would go on the road to see what was best. In terms of patents, I would like to patent this one day because I think it could definitely help the world in some way, which is what I'm trying to do.
I agree. I love your presentation, and you definitely need to get that patent. And I guess my question is, I'm just curious, what's the lifespan? Is that something you're going to have to replace the parts every so many years? It's going to drive up cost? Or is it have a lifespan, say 20 years, so it's going to keep your cost level down?
So everything under here is going to be in a box, as I said, so it'll be weatherproof, so you don't have to worry about weather getting anything down. The only thing that might have to be replaced is the gear track and pinion gear. However, these can be taken out and then replaced at a small cost, which would not be very expensive. The blade could last for a very long time, is what I'm projecting.
Okay, so how did you actually come up with your cost projection of, you say $200 for each one? How did you come up with those figures?
I looked up the materials that I would like to use, which is like aluminum and acrylic plastic, and then I looked up how much I believe it would cost to dig on the side of the road with the manpower, anything like that, or just having a machine.
Assuming this product would be commercial and residential use, have you thought or projected how many of those would be needed, say, in a neighborhood-sized home to produce energy?
I have not. I would have to get the average energy used by each homeowner and then extrapolate it to that. However, using a regular sized car, because of course it does differ with how large the car is, it produces about 500 volts at the first oscillation, not including after oscillations. So I'm not sure the exact number.
Okay. Great presentation.
Thanks, Rachel. Up next from Frederick High School with Cold Treats, it's Esther Ajman Badu, Chaz Frazier, and Edwin Estrada.
So, have you ever been to an ice cream shop and you didn't like anything you saw? Nothing was appealing, nothing was creative, you had no fun there? I promise you that is not a problem at Cold Treats. Code Treats is established by Esther, hello, Edwin, and Chaz. We always say Code Treats, everybody eats. So Code Treats is a business that allows consumers to make their own ice cream from scratch. And when I say scratch, I mean you're picking your own milk, your own flavors, your own sugar. If you want, you can make a peppermint mocha cappuccino ice cream. That's possible at Code Treats. We also have shakes, which can be made through your ice cream. Once you make your ice cream, we can turn that into a shake for you. We also have an ice cream truck that goes around places with many kids who want ice cream, and we sell popsicles, snow cones, homemade ice cream, the most ones that consumers prefer. We also have a pastry section where the pastries are made daily, like ice cream cakes, pies, cookies, brownies, etc. As well as smoothies where consumers get to decide their own fruits and vegetables. So we do understand that ice cream is like a seasonal fruit. People don't want it in winter when they're freezing cold. That is why in winter we'll start selling hot drinks like hot chocolate, tea, coffee. We will still sell the ice cream, but we will decrease how much we ask for revenue, as well as we will allow consumers to pre-order their the coffee, as well as we will transform our ice cream truck into a hot chocolate truck, as well as a tea and coffee truck, which will go around to local rings and parks and sell it there. So we are different from many people because we let you create your own ice cream. It is not pre-made for you. You have to create it yourself. We work at a fast pace because our process takes about 10 to 15 minutes to make, maximum 20. As well as we don't just say, here you go, you got this, figure it out. We guide you in the process. And we make sure that our fruits and vegetables are wholesome. So we work with local farms around to get the fruits and vegetables we need. And I'm sure you're wondering, how can we work at such a fast pace? Well, for the homemade ice cream business, we will have a menu which consumers can select from, which you will have in front of you right now. It has some flavors we offer, some toppings where you can put them in. And then we will have one of our employees who we consider to be a homemade ice cream guide them in the process. She'll first start by getting what they want. Then she'll take measurements of everything and hand it to them. Or put it down for them, I guess. And then they will follow her instructions as she starts to pour it in. Once they have the entire mixture together, she takes their bowl, steps a safe distance away, and starts to pour liquid nitrogen into their mixture until it comes into a creamy texture the consumers would like.
Alright, so how it works, we got ice cream truck that goes around and you select the item of the menu, the driver hands it to the consumer. We also got pastries, it's always made early in the morning. It's also placed on the windows so they can take a look at them. We got smoothies, it's also given a menu, and you select the ingredients and they're blended to perfection.
Selling it. Our homemade ice cream is 60 cents per ounce. We do ice cream truck, and our soft serve ice cream is $2.50. Homemade ice cream is $6 to $10, and other products are $1 to $3. So we also do pastries. Our ice cream cakes are $35, and cakes or cheesecakes are $10 to $20. Others are $38. Our smoothies. Our smoothies, tea, coffee, and hot chocolate. Our smalls are 99 cents, mediums $1.99, and large is $2.99. Advertisement. We do a flavor of the month competition every 6 months. You can pre-order from our website, app, or phone. Our bundle is buy 10 ice cream, the 11th is free. We also do commercials. Our target consumers are families with children, medium to high income, and teenagers.
Competition, competitors. We got homemade ice cream, Cold Stone, and Sweet Frog, but we're different from them. The process of how we make our ice cream. We use the liquid nitrogen to freeze the ice cream. We got ice cream truck competition, Ben & Jerry, Kona Ice, and Snowbell. We got pastry competition, Comanita and Deliciosa Bakery. We got Baskin Robbins. We got Dairy Queen, and we also got a competition for hot drinks, which is Starbucks. So why Cold Treats? Well, it's a new, never before seen idea how we freeze our ice cream with the liquid nitrogen. It meets many people with dessert needs and bring family and friends closer. Questions?
I had a question regarding your advertising, and as you put up there, there's obviously a lot of competition in this field. You do have a unique idea. How will you convey that uniqueness of that idea through your advertising?
Well, the flavor of the month competition, that would be for, in the menu, there's a section where we have recommended flavors. That would go in that section. But we will advertise it through the commercials explaining that, are you bored of every other ice cream place? Are you tired? Are you like, I need ingredients that are actually fresh and wholesome and local, stuff like that. And as well as the ice cream truck, we will sell one of our most creative flavors, but well-desired. That way, when the truck goes out and consumers try it, they can go like, where did you get this from? When did you guys make this? And that driver can explain to them, you can make it yourself at Coach Reed's in this location, stuff like that.
So in most businesses, there are stepping blocks. You start with one idea and then you grow them from there as time progresses. Mm-hmm. With this idea, you've got a couple different working parts. So you've got the truck company that's going to go this way to deliver a target audience, and then you have the store that you're going to use for a target audience. And then you're going to have to look at the hot and cold, which will be a different target audience. Have you thought about how you're going to make all of those business working parts come together to start up the business?
Yes, we have. We've made sure that with a business like this, when we hire employees, they are skilled in teamwork for one main product. We have a system or a schedule, you could say, that works where the baker and the homemade ice cream guy know how to work with consumers, know how to, help with the homemade ice cream section, where we have the truck driver who, he will come in the store, he'll meet the team, he will take the, ingredients or things he needs for his truck, and he will start driving out. He can call them if he needs anything, as well as since it's a startup business, we will be there to instruct in any conflicts that could happen between them.
Okay.
Okay, my question is around, we're talking about the truck itself. We're talking about you guys using, some fresh product, locally grown product, which could be expensive. So when you're talking about that startup cost that you just mentioned, do you guys have an idea what that cost is going to be?
Yeah, we're looking around $300 to $2,500 to start up.
That includes the truck as well?
That includes the truck as well.
Okay. What was that figure again?
250,000 to around 350,000.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 225.
I did too. I was like, whoa.
So you definitely want to look at that because, like she mentioned, you have a lot of pieces kind of moving at the same time. That's going to increase your initial cost. I would just give you some feedback to say maybe you should try to scale it back a little bit. I mean, this is a seasonal business, and if you decide to do the truck during the summer, see how that works out, and then you can have all those at the advertising around it and things that come with that. Consider that opposed to having all these moving parts going on at the same time. And then depending on what time of year you start, winter can be around the corner. Advertising costs can be very expensive. So definitely go back and look at your startup costs. I'll give you that advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent job. Up next is Grace Starsuck from Liganor. She will be presenting Lucid Learning. Let's hear it for Grace, guys.
Hello. I am Grace Starsuck, and this is my business plan, Lucid Learning. I'd first like to start off with how many of us here love caffeine? Just raise your hand. Just one. That's quite a few. I can raise my hand too. The reason why so many of you, I'm guessing, like caffeine is because not a lot of us are morning people. I can't say I got the best night's rest. What lucid learning is a professional development plan which will guide people in a business, say employees, will guide them through managing their sleep processing and managing, they'll be managing their dreams, managing their subconscious, and what this business will be doing for people is using the subconscious and using your dreams to help release stress, release tension, anything that's keeping you up at night and leaving you just hyperactive and not able to sleep at night, not able to fall asleep. The reason why I see a need for this business is because how many people, go into work every day and they are just so tired and they're just not feeling as productive as they feel they could be, they're not reaching their full potential, and businesses aren't thriving like they could be. Lucid learning is not counseling. Lucid learning is a training program that will help you through understanding your dreams, understanding how you can take control of them, and how you can break them apart into, resolving the problems with your eyes closed. A lot of our dreams come from the subconscious, and a lot of our the material in the subconscious is issues that we've pushed aside and we haven't dealt with yet. And what this does is helps you deal with that, again, with your eyes closed. The target market for this is mainly businesses. Businesses to help, increase productivity, lessen absenteeism, and just help the economy overall. After I kind of start off with businesses, I'm planning on starting a side program where I'll open a separate location. I won't have to open up a location when I go to visit businesses and help them then train them through managing their sleep processing. After my business picks up with that, I'll be able to open up a separate location and help people separately. Help people who are interested in lucid dreaming, taking control of your dreams, understanding what's hidden in your subconscious, and how to release all of that tension in your mind. The services we provide, I want to open up two components to this business. The separate one again, and the business side of it. I mainly am focused on the business side of it to help everyone on a large scale to be able to help businesses thrive like they could be thriving, and helping people to just live every day like they should be and be more attentive, and instead of falling asleep at their desk and wishing they could have fallen asleep a little bit before 2 a.m. last night, things of that nature. The marketing, I plan on joining the Frederick County Chamber of Commerce. I want to promote there. I'll be able to, I want to start up a website, help people understand what this is, and help people understand that they can take control of their sleep life even though they are not conscious. Competition is very limited. Competition is very indirect for this idea because no one has taken the subconscious approach to stress relief, stress management, sleeping better, and things of that nature. All I have are websites that give information on it. I'll be able to help train people into fixing that. A competitive advantage is the approach that uses the subconscious. No one else has done this yet, and I believe it will help people come to the conclusion that they can release all that stress, they can clear their mind, no matter how hard it takes. The prices of classes will be $50 to $100 per person for 5 days. This will be bringing in $2,000 a week. 1,000 to 2,000 a week, and the face-to-face guidance through the program is just something that will, help more than just going online and researching. The possible risks are skepticism and prices of classes. Again, prices of classes are negotiable, $50 to $100. And the skepticism, we can help talk to people. We can talk to people and help them understand through the website and through all the information we can provide to them and show them the possible benefits of this program.
So, you hit the price point and you talked about the things that you're going to do to network, and maybe I'm not fully understanding. As a business owner, obviously I don't sleep, but my staff, for example, I bring you into my operation. What exactly is it that you're going to do? What am I paying you for that they're going to sleep better at night? Or can you tell me?
Tell me the weirdest dream you've had. Absolute weirdest dream you've had.
I don't know. Randomly somebody from high school shows up in your life and you're eating ice cream with them. And you have no idea where they came from because they live in California and they brought a dog.
What I will do for you, if you were in a business, you're an employee, what I'll do for you is take you through understanding what that dream means. Because that dream didn't come out of nowhere. It came out of your subconscious. It's something that you've experienced already, something that you're aware of. And what I'll do for you is help you understand feelings that might be incorporated in that dream, and what's hidden in your subconscious, because a lot of us don't know what's hidden in there.
What about multiple dreamers? I mean, if I have a good day, fine, I'm good, but then Wednesday, I lose 100,000, and then Thursday an employee quits and I feel strapped, and you're dreaming all these stresses at night. I mean, is it a development plan that continues? Do I get to call you in the middle of the night to go to sleep? I'm trying to understand the concept of it. Because I would do that. So
I'll probably be up. So I'll be able to answer the phone. I'm not sure I understood the question. If you could repeat it again.
Yeah, so you're going to go in and you're going to relieve stress. Maybe my first example wasn't good. So someone like me, for example, I do have 3 nights a week that are rough for sleeping.
Yes, ma'am.
The type of dreams that I have are driven off of stress of a business operation. You have a really bad day, you're concerned about what's going to happen, you've got 37 employees. You're talking about going into corporations and working with people like that. These are normally going to be business related and or personal problems. So if you come in and you did a program and I told you a dream that I had, what's the ongoing therapy to continue to sleep? Because 1 month could work itself out, but then the next month, the dreams could go, so you know what I mean? Stress could go in a different direction.
I understand. That's the amazing part about this, is it is ongoing. And even though the problem isn't solved right away, these skills that I'll take these employees through will help them later on when they do have an issue like that, when I may not be available, when I will be.
So you're going to teach the skills, not just analyze the dream.
Yes, not just analyze. I'll teach them how to release all of that and solve it in their dream. What the main component of it is lucid dreaming, which is the act of becoming aware in your dreams and being able to take control of your dreams. If you have a dream a monster is chasing you, you won't be able. You want to wake up, but when you become aware and you notice it is a dream, you'll be able to turn around and confront the monster and be like, "Why are you chasing me? What's the issue?" And I've had people talk about dreams where they become aware and they solve the problem. They solve the nightmare. And the nightmare turns into a good dream, and they wake up, instead of scared, they wake up and are able to fall back asleep again and have a good dream.
I will say this is a very unique concept that you're talking about. I guess tell me how you're going to navigate through the skepticism, because there's going to be a lot of skepticism.
Yes.
How are you going to navigate through that?
You mean like talk to the customer? Or?
Well, I mean, talking to the customer, getting the information out. 'Cause I'm thinking part of it's going to be education.
Yes, sir.
So, but when you're confronted with somebody that looks like you and say, I'm very skeptical about that, what's going to be your response?
I have taken a psychology class. I came up with this algorithm when I was studying dreams. I was doing dream analysis, and I was studying the subconscious and what the subconscious is. I've done this for myself, and it's helped me solve a lot of my sleep issues. And it's helped me wake up a lot more, energized and a lot more productive. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to come up with this. And, I'll give them the personal story. I'll tell them about how it's in psychology, and people have been studying psychology for how long, and answer any questions they have, any personal questions.
So whatever that algorithm is, you need to make that note. We need to know what that is. So I think that's part of how you navigate through the skepticism is showing the algorithm. But you could have showed that tonight in your presentation, and then you kind of break down that barrier, that wall from the skeptics.
Yes.
Okay, specifically on the advertising, you mentioned working with businesses, and just the observation there would be that this is the type of thing that maybe is, although it's not counseling, is better done on one-on-one. So you may sort of bring that into your mix. But what advertising methods had you thought of doing for this?
I would love to join the Frederick County Chamber of Commerce. I would love to go there and see all the other businesses and work even more on my business. And
so networking with the other.
Yeah, definitely networking. I'll have brochures, business cards. I'll have my website hopefully up and running, and kind of have the algorithm out there and have it all out there so people can truly understand, and even then they can contact me and be like, hey, what is this? It sounds like something I need to sleep.
Great. Thank you.
That was Grace Sarsa from Linganore High School. Now up next, it's Tentacles. Lily Bean from Catoctin High School. Let's give her a round of applause.
Okay, so this is a little not quite cool. Tentacles is a hand scrub for men, targeted for men. So I'm going to take a nice little scoop here. And then you're going to massage it in for about 20 to 30 seconds. There are two types of tentacles. There's naughty and nice. Both of them have a coconut oil base. Sorry. And then, okay, so naughty is a rougher hand scrub. Naughty it has activated charcoal, sea salt, and peppermint, so it's not too feminine. Nice is lemon, sugar, and like assorted herbs. Good, very good. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Bolt. Yeah, you're done. That's it. And it just has coconut oil, so it's very moisturizing while it exfoliates. Okay. Oh, I get easily distracted. Are you sure? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. 2 more. Okay, so sorry. 1 more, sorry. Okay, so it's just an ownership structure. So I am the sole proprietor, and then my most important people are my marketing people. I mean, you can't have a business without a marketing team. Your shareholders, so definitely I have about 5 lined up who are willing to give me about $10,000 each. My first and primary goal is to pay back my shareholders. And then, you have your manufacturers and quality control. Okay, so you pay for what you get. Everyone wants to have the end caps or the, below eye level shelving. But you know what? As a small business, I'm going to be lucky for what I can get. Okay. Oh, okay. just keep going. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know how to work this. Okay, so this is just just an example. Okay, so short-term goals versus long-term goals. You know, with your just your virtual, it's like a hockey stick structure if you've ever seen it, or a hockey stick graph. So my short-term goals are to build infrastructure. So I want to get the most quality product that I can get while finding a perfect warehouse in downtown, or actually Buckystown, because they have a lot of warehouses in there. And then long-term goals are to build my product. So I want to, or build my business. So eventually I would like to create a product line for men, because you know what, I feel men don't get pampered enough. Keep going. Okay. This is a high growth area. I mean, this is uncharted waters. I don't know, this could epically fail or this could succeed. I don't really know, but I'm going for it. Okay? Okay. So Lush is my biggest competitor. But guys don't want to walk into Lush. There's, bath bombs. Guys don't want that. They want, masculine things, masculine scents that they can use every day. Axe and Old Spice, yes, they have the name recognition, but they do not have products like a hand scrub or a body scrub even. Okay, yes, so my target audience are about millennial men who are hands-on, who have, rough jobs. So you know what, when you come home from a day of lifting, and you have those calluses on your hands, some guys keep them, some guys, you can exfoliate them off. I would have tentacles in, manly stores, I guess. I'm not being sexist, I promise. But, Dick's Sporting Goods, Ace Hardware, Home Depot, Lowe's, Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, etc. Men will buy tentacles because it's kind of different. Guys don't get to spoil themselves that often. I mean, they watch their girlfriends, their wives, their mothers, their sisters, buy all these, beauty products, but they don't get to. Okay. Okay, so my employees. So these are my products, and this is just a nice little simple design. And so promotional activities. I do have a Facebook page. It's actually, you can just find it by 10 Tickles. I think marketing is a very big thing, so I'd like to have, social media. That's what all the people use nowadays, so especially millennials. So I'd have public service announcements and celebrity endorsements in social media. Okay. The product estimated cost to make it retail is actually $5, so I'd sell it at $10. Source of financing, I do have my 5 shareholders. Thank you. Thank you.
Could you clarify a little bit how you intend to sell? Are you taking store space in or shelf space in other stores, or you have your own bricks and mortar location? Or?
Yes, sir. I would try to, get partnerships with Amazon, so you could buy it online if necessary, or you could buy it, in Cabela's, Home Depot, Lowe's, etc.
So I find the product interesting because I get the concept of the millennial men because they work for me and they are more interested in some of the things the girls have, so I have seen it. I think the only thing that I would have isn't so much a question as much as from a marketing standpoint is maybe some of the product name. If a competitor that you're going up against is, an Axe,
yes,
and you're coming in with a product titled Nice, I'm not so sure if I'm a masculine person picking a product off the shelf and people are watching me, which one I'm going to put in my cart. Mm-hmm. So more of a marketing, branding standpoint would be the only thing that I would tweak on it.
I'd be willing to change anything if it would sell. I mean, heck, I would love to, sell my idea to Old Spice or Axe even. I mean, Everything's fair game.
I mean, naughty, I think they'll go for. I'm just the nice side of, it's. I'm just thinking from a shopping standpoint. We're always afraid to put certain things in our cart because people are watching us in the aisles. And so maybe don't make it any flashy colors of pink or purple.
No.
Keep it gray.
Now Now I will say it works pretty good. My hands were already soft, but they're even softer now. So, but going back to the marketing and branding, tell me how you came up with the name.
Okay. Well, I don't really remember. I'm very odd if you couldn't tell. And so I'm sitting and I'm thinking of a name, and I'm thinking of like hands, and I'm like thinking, because I'm Puerto Rican, I was thinking like manos, like hands or fingers, and I was just like, and somehow I got the idea of tentacles, I don't know, and then naughty, because naughty could be nautical, but then naughty or nice, and it was actually around Christmas time, so I was probably thinking about that too.
There's your marketing tagline. It's right there. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Lily. Our next competitors are from Middletown High School. Sasha Kolinkovich, Brett Hart, and Justin Arnold. And they will be presenting MAPA, Making Animal Products Affordable. Let's hear it for them.
Levi?
Paper. Actually, Governor Thomas Johnson will be next. We have David Charleboy, Jade Riley, and they will be presenting Fly Market.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is David Charleboy.
And my name is Jade Riley.
And we'd like to introduce you to our business,
Fly Market.
So I got this idea from my grandma. She's getting older, she's deciding to move out, and she has all this stuff, she doesn't know what to do with it. So I created this business to try to help people like her out.
Okay, in Frederick County, there's approximately 12,400 people between the ages of 50 to 70 years old. This time frame is the time frame when individuals' kids are moving out, going to college, starting lives of their own. These individuals are left in their house with the items their kids used when they were growing up, but they no longer have a use for it because their kids are all moved out. And maybe they're looking to downsize their homes. They no longer need a big house to support such a big family. But as they're moving out, they know they can't take these items into their smaller homes, and they just don't know what to do with them. They don't want to throw them away because that would just be a waste. They don't want to, and that's where our business comes in.
What our business essentially is an online flea market where you can buy and sell goods. This is how it works. A seller contacts us about trying to get rid of some goods because maybe their house is too cluttered or they're downsizing, they can't have all the stuff that they used to have in their house. So we come to their house, we have an appraiser appraise their goods, we take a picture of it, put it on our website, find a buyer for them, and once we do find a buyer, we ship it with a truck that we own to the buyer's house, and we take 25% of the profit.
We do have some competitors. There's an app called LetGo, which is a mobile phone app where buyers and sellers can post pictures, look through. There's also eBay, but eBay is an auctioning site, and that doesn't give you a set price for an item, so you'd have to bid on it. And in Mount Airy, there is a business called Graceful Transitions, which is a downsizing moving company, but they also auction off items. We would set a set price and have it sold like that.
All right, here's why we're unique from those companies. We come to their house and we take care of everything for them. When they contact us, their information doesn't need to be shared with anyone else, so you don't have to worry about fraud or anything like that.
Okay, so our startup costs, we would need a truck to obviously get the items from the seller's house to the buyer's house. So on Penske, a used truck would be $2,700. Also, we would need about $500 maybe for our gas money because we would be doing all the delivering. And for advertisements, we could hang up brochures in local grocery stores, also in elderly homes for people looking to downsize their homes if they know anybody that's looking to downsize. And we could run radio commercials. And also, we would need an insurance and a bond. Say you're selling an item and you have a potential buyer, we're taking it to their house and it breaks while we're delivering it, you still want to get your money for your item, so we're gonna keep you covered for that. And our goals sales forecast, when we first start, our first 1 through 6 months, we are expecting 5 customers at least each month, 5 different houses. And then from July to October, we want to raise that to about 10 customers per month. because the word of our business will be out, people will know who we are. And by October and December, we know that's the holiday season, so the sales might go down because everyone is spending money to go visit their families or spending money on holiday gifts and things like that. But our business is still going to be useful in the long run because according to the National Association of Senior Move Managers, the U.S. population 65 and up is going to jump 80% by the time the baby boomer generation retires, which is the years 2010 to 2030. Also, by 2030, the U.S. population, the elderly is going to account for 1/5 of the U.S. population. So in years to come, our business is still going to be needed.
All right, thank you for your time.
So again, always good to do your homework about your competitors, to know what you're going up against. So I just cleaned a house out, which something like this would be fabulous because it's a lot of work. My question is, you post something on your site and you live in Frederick, Maryland, and somebody in Fort Lauderdale, Florida decides to purchase this item. And it happens to be the sectional couch you're able to get $150 for. Have you thought of the variance of the cost to transport such item in a Penske truck down? Because when I tried to sell some things, I had some calls from multiple states, and I thought, well, I'm not going to send you a microwave to, a state that was going to have a lot of cost on in shipping.
Well, right now we were just focusing locally, so like anything out of Maryland, we probably would say sorry to.
So you'd keep rules around that. What if it was something even like the smaller cost of like a side table and it was someone that purchased it that required shipping? Have you looked into the pricing of what it's going to cost to move these products in and out of an area?
We were just thinking of just delivering the items ourselves with our moving truck because we would get a moving truck. So as he said, we were going to stick locally in our area. So we wouldn't really think about going out of the area, but once our company grows and increases, we would get shipping and stuff because we're going to be doing everything for the customer. If you wanted to sell something, you wouldn't have to ship it. We'd ship it for you. We'd come back and give you the money, and we'd take 25% of the commission.
I guess this is more of a comment than a question. One thing that I think you brought out in your presentation was doing everything for the customer. And I think that that's very, very important, especially given the demographic that you're shooting for, that is maybe not quite as comfortable with computer apps or sort of selling things online. So I think that's a great aspect of the presentation, and just keep thinking in those terms. The more that you can do for the customer, that specific demographic, the more successful you're going to be.
Thank you.
And what I have too is more of a comment. Never think local. I mean, you may start off local, but don't think local. Because I'm telling you, what's going to happen is you're going to get that call from somebody in North Carolina that wants you to move something. So you already have that in your business plan and your marketing plan. Even though you may not pursue that, just know that it can happen and be prepared for that to happen. Because when you go in business, the things that you expected that would happen won't happen, and the unexpected will happen. So you will get that phone call from someone outside the state where you have to react to that and make a decision.
Yeah, it's just for the short term. We're just focusing close until we get enough revenue to buy or to employ more people or to deal with shipping.
Right, it's fine to think local, but also put that in your grand scheme, in your plan moving forward, and having a national plan as well.
All right, thank you.
Nice job, guys. Up next, now, from Middletown High School, we have Sasha Kulinkovich, Brett Hart, and Justin Arnold with MAPA, Making Animal Products Affordable.
All right, hello guys, how's everybody tonight? We had a pretty great journey up from our headquarters, MAPA headquarters, which is also known as Mr. Rourke's room. And so we're here tonight. I'm Justin.
I'm Sasha.
And I'm Brett. And we are here to present our company and our first product of our company, MAPA, and that stands for Making Animal Products Affordable. So the goal of our company is to, quite simply, make animal products. But what specifically about them? We plan to make animal products that are affordable, durable, accurate, and are just easy to use for anybody. You don't have to be specialized to use them.
So our first product is a animal pregnancy test kit, as Justin mentioned. And so the good things about our product is it is portable. You don't have to drag the animal to wherever you're trying to test it for pregnancy. You just take the device right to it. It is inexpensive compared to any other pregnancy tests, which we will get to later. And we aim to make it as reliable or even more reliable than any other tests.
So sadly the school would not give me a working LabQuest device. They said it was like $500, but debatable. This is broken, but this is similar to our product. Just as this LabQuest device here has like a stylus and stuff, how it would work is you would go out, let's just say you're a farmer, for instance, got a pregnancy check those cows, right? So you go out to your pasture and you would select your species of animals, which would show up on the screen when you first turn on the device. So then that allows the device to know which key hormone it's looking for in a urine sample, which you would have to collect, which you would take a cup or say hands on gel, let's be honest. And so it should take less than a minute to give you a accurate answer whether it's pregnant or non-pregnant. Why is this important? Well, speaking about cows again, basically you're not getting milk if that cow's not pregnant. And so to keep costs low for the farmer, that cow has to be making milk as much time as it possibly can, really. And anything they can do to make sure that it is pregnant or on schedule to be bred or rebred or so on lowers costs, and it lowers costs for all of you.
Alright, so why our product is needed right now. So current pregnancy tests on the market include a blood sample you can send to a laboratory, which is relatively cheap for a small amount of tests. But if you're a big farmer and you're doing lots of tests, costs will rack up very quickly. There's an item on the market right now that is a little paper test strip that you can dip in the urine, but it's only for one type of species. Our device can do multiple species. So, yeah.
Pricing for ours is, we wanted to make a starter kit for just the average user, just in case they only needed to do a couple of animals. So our starting price is $40 for the 10 strips and an included USB cord. Second, if you needed more animals to test, it's $14.99 for 20 strips, and this also comes with a 1-year warranty. And who our target audience is, who we're trying to sell it to, is animal breeders, farmers, zoos, and veterinarians.
So our plan to market our item is we first initially plan to allow local veterinary offices to basically do a trial run on our product, and they would use it on clients that bring in their dog or cat or what have you because they believe they're pregnant. So they would first use our kit, and then they would do their traditional methods to see if the two results are the same. After we have a couple months of trial and error, and hopefully they all come back, the same results, then we can use that in the rest of our marketing campaign to say that it's veterinary approved. And then we will move on to getting it on our online website and in stores such as Tractor Supply, Southern States, and Farmers Co-op. And that is all. Thank you.
So I have a question on the pricing. How did you arrive at that price? I got to say, that seems to be a bargain. And I wonder what your costs are for that. I wonder what the competitive costs, as you stated, are quite high, a lot higher than your selling price. So how did you arrive at that number?
Okay, well, I thought we were going to get asked this question sitting over there. And so we arrived at $39.99, and this is very interesting how we got to that, but we actually looked at the cost of a graphing calculator. We figured that a lot of the computer stuff inside would be similar. It wouldn't be as complex because I don't think you're doing multiplication on your pregnancy checker. But nonetheless, we figured if we took some of the technology out of a standard graphing calculator and used that in it, that it would lower the price, and since the device is smaller than a graphing calculator, it would bring the cost down too. I'll be honest, with the starter kit, we're not making much money at all once you factor in the time it may have sat in the store and shipping costs and stuff, and that's not where we're trying to make our money. Our money is on the refills, and we feel that once our product is proven that it's reliable and durable and eliminates the need to have your vet come out every time you need to know if your animal's pregnant or what have you, that's where we're going to make our money. And we figure that we can make about $5 for each refill set or sold.
So you don't actually have a prototype yet?
No, we do
It's
not
the
have
vision.
we do not have a working prototype. We definitely try to work on that, but I myself am not technical, and well, these gentlemen I don't believe are either.
I find the idea of this very interesting. Obviously, I grew up around farms. I'm just curious, how did you come up with this idea? Do you live on a farm? Do you?
This is a great question. I'll go into a personal story. So, for those of you, which would be all of you, who don't know me, I show at the Frederick Fair. I show dairy goats, and which is fine for the first year because they have a class called dry yearlings. That's where all the does that have never been bred yet. But for the second year, A, the does have to be bred in order to be shown at the fair, and B, the kids have to be a certain age when at the fair. So there's a month deadline, and well, it all goes around the month of March. So you have March, the month before, and the month after, and you have to hit those deadlines. And especially for goats and a lot of other animals like that, so cows, pigs, and all that, there's really no way to tell if they're pregnant. And I did not know that my goat was pregnant until I went down there the Friday of spring break, and there were 2 goats running around. And I was like, well, I had homework to do today, but that no longer is going to happen. But, so yeah, I wanted definitely some prior notice. Okay. But also thinking about it from the farmer's standpoint, they're relying on the cows to be bred because if a cow is not pregnant, it's not going to eventually produce milk for everyone who uses milk, which I'm assuming you all use milk in some way on a daily basis. And so the cow's not pregnant, it's not producing milk, and the longer time that the cow's not producing or the more money they have to invest in it, bring out a vet or using other methods, that drives up the cost of your milk. So just speaking about dairy, for instance, but this would probably happen in other markets as well. We believe that our product, if it allows farmers to accurately check their cows and know when they're pregnant and sense patterns of cows that are struggling to get pregnant and other stuff, then that would bring down the price for their investment towards that cow throughout its lifespan, and that should bring down milk prices. And I mean, same thing in pigs and stuff. You're not getting bacon if the pigs aren't born, so you got to know if they're also pregnant.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, your story kind of answers some of my question, but I was leaning on the question more geared to the results. So what happens if the results are incorrect? So how do you react to something like that?
Well, like I said, we would allow veterinarian offices to check it or use it in collaboration with their current ways of pregnancy checking animals. So to be honest, we would be shocked if our results were incorrect after the testing period, because no consumers would be allowed to use it during that testing period, and we would only release this product if it was 100% accurate. And we would definitely talk to the veterinarians using it and take any feedback that they had and any issues or any weird things that happened while using it, like mixed results and stuff like that. And if everything lines up, that's the only way consumers will get their hands on it. So we would definitely be very intrigued if they got incorrect results.
And how long is that testing period?
We were thinking a couple months. I mean, veterinarians usually see cats and dogs a couple times a week. This pregnancy test works on all mammals. You just have to select the species. So we figured cats and dogs. We can do local dairy farms as well with the vet out there to check it or its accuracy and stuff like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for having us tonight.
All right, guys, great job. Our next competitors will be from Tuscarora High School. James Pellegrino, Thomas Reyna, and Anthony Reyna, and they will be presenting their General Atomics Fusion Reactor model.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry that Jazz couldn't join us, but me and...
Hi, I'm Anthony Reyna. This is Tomas Reyna, and we're here to present our variant on a fusion reactor that could potentially generate infinite electricity.
So you may think that we're in over our heads with this project. I mean, obviously it's not an easy task, but fusion reactor is not a new concept. This has actually been in production since the 1960s, and it has been utilized initially by many governments to try to produce electricity for all and cleanly and effectively. This is going to be running through nuclear physics for like 5 minutes, so I'm sure everyone didn't want to come here for a lesson, so I'm going to run through this quickly. But essentially, deuterium and tritium, which are hydrogen isotopes and are easy to produce, cheap nuclear fuel, which comes from water, is going to be run through a chamber, which is going to be controlled by electromagnetics to control plasma to create electricity using the plasma with electricity and also conventional steam turbines. The reason why this hasn't been applied and done yet is because the initial heat for this device is about 80 million degrees Celsius, which, as you can imagine, is much hotter than your average oven. So basically, most people have tried to solve this problem using electromagnetic oscillating fields or trying to use hot liquid metal vortexes. But we've solved the problem in a unique way, in which we have our own thermal transfer device model and works. We have a device that can generate more than 80 million degrees Celsius in a specialized chamber, and most of the heat will be directed to the reactor to produce the electricity that is needed. Our model is self-sustaining. Electricity from the reactor will be redirected toward it to power the electromagnetics to control it, and also be able to use more electricity than the average model can put out now that are currently in use. The circle ringy thing that you see there is the design for the reactor, which is actually a tokamak that have been in production since the 1960s. The chamber up there that is somewhat hexagonal, that is where the transfer device will impart its energy upon the reactor. And the two boxes down there you see is the processing plants. The profits from this are expected to be very large, since the reactor is going to provide clean energy for all, and it should surpass any coal or plants and such like that, since the electricity that produces it is not only more and it's more efficient, but it also can produce it quicker, and it can also supply more homes and such like that. The profits I expect to be past 65 million for the reactor, which is higher than the BGE company, and the expenses for the reactor will be $12 billion, which we plan to acquire from grants and investors once we have attracted an audience. It may sound like a lot of money, but the reactors that are being produced today actually use around that same amount of money, and they are being sponsored by governments and also large investors. Workers will be easily supplied. A plasma plant you may think that it requires specialists of physicists and such like that, but most of the mechanics are easy to operate since it uses steam and such like that, and parts of it, so average workers will be able to use these plants, and although there will have to be some specialists, physicists and such like that. Thank you.
first of all, I don't feel qualified at all to ask that. But congrats for tackling a big problem. There have been over the years many big companies put a lot of brain power to this. Why do you think they haven't landed on a solution to this?
Well, as I mentioned before, the heat necessary to power the reactor is, very large. And on top of that, the plants are often initially expensive, and often they haven't found a way to have the electricity surpass the amount needed for the electromagnetics to control the heat. But with our reactor, we are able to directly convert plasma into electricity, and on top of that, use lithium, which is actually forms a liquid metal wall to absorb excess heat, to power even more electricity with a conventional power plant, which is available for most people to operate such like that, since they're used by coal and oil plants.
I agree. Excellent information of words that I probably could not pronounce. And maybe I missed this. You had in there that this will generate $13 to $15 billion because it's something that would be used obviously across the country. What is the cost of the product? Is this something that I purchase for my home? Is this something that's installed? Is it?
No, this would function as a utility. So what would happen is investors and grants would open a large reactor plant, and then this reactor would supply electricity to homes for a rate that is similar to electrical companies today. The cost will be a little higher to average out for the initial cost of the reactor, but it should be able to go down once we're paying off the investors and such like that. So this will be as a utility. And
So your customer would be the utility companies?
Yes.
And then the cost would pass through from the consumer?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you guys have a huge task ahead of you.
It's a good thing you're starting now.
Yeah, but I'm looking at your needs to start your business. You talked about grants and investments, and it could take 10 to 20 years. Is there a chance that the industry can change in that 10 to 20 years? And if it can change, are you guys prepared to deal with that change?
Our competition right now, which is ITER, General Fusion, Euro, and many Euro projects, are also working on the same reactor design, which is about 30 years from now. And if they do achieve it within that time, it will be a relatively new sector. So in addition to supplying electricity in a new way that has not been adapted by many people, we also will be able to turn on inventions that will be based on the plasma technology that our reactor will utilize.
Thank you.
Nice job, guys. And now for our final competitors. From Urbana High School, we have Dean Foster and Suhail Jawahardeen, Smart Seats. Let's give them a round of applause.
Hey everybody, thank you for coming out tonight. I'm Suhail, and this is Dean Foster, and today we're going to be presenting Smart Seats. So we've all been familiar with the feeling of being surprised at how much you're spending on groceries and other expenses day to day for your family. That's why we were inspired to create Smart Seats, a mobile application that we've dubbed the Everyday Account. But what is it that Smart Seats wants to do?
Well, Smart Seats is an app that aims to streamline shopping list creation, as well as provide advanced receipt analytics and easy-to-read expense reports, facilitates smart shopping decisions and money-saving suggestions, all while we give the user incentive to use the app.
So if you take a look at the screen, you can actually see a couple of sample receipt scans. And those blue alert icons are basically to let the user know that analysis has been complete and that suggestions are ready to go so that they can save money on their next shopping trip.
And so for the rewards, what we have up there is basically a credit score that you rack up as you scan receipts and send them to us. And you can use that to redeem rewards such as gift cards and in-store credit, things like that.
Alright, so let's talk a little bit about who we're going after with this app. We're mainly going to be targeting college-age students and millennials. Here are a couple reasons why. These people are impressionable, they're tech-savvy, and they're always looking for the next way to save $1, quite desperately. I'm broke more oftentimes than I'm not. On top of this, they have a smartphone lifestyle. Everything these people do is centered around their phones, and that's why we think our mobile application and their lifestyle go hand in hand. Great idea, but how much is it going to cost them? Well, the app is actually free, but of course we plan to make money. Our main revenue source is actually going to be data sales. Advertising companies need detailed consumer spending data so that they can determine effective marketing strategies. And we believe that we can work with these companies using our data and their skills to take their advertising to the next level.
And so in addition to data sales, we're going to have ads integrated inconspicuously so as to not negatively impact user experience. So that means no full screen ads, don't get that wrong. So, and in addition, we're going to have the option for you to pay to remove them as well.
And these ads are actually going to be targeted, meaning they're tailored specifically to the user. In essence, what this means is you won't be advertised any products that you won't find interesting. Talking a little about revenue and expenses. At 100,000 users, we can conservatively estimate $950,000 in revenue. About 70% of this is coming from data sales and 30% is coming from targeted advertising. As far as expenses go, with that user base, we're projecting $400,000 in costs. This is mainly coming from workforce as we're looking to integrate data scientists to work alongside computer scientists to develop valuable algorithms that will increase the value of our data, as well as provide better suggestions for the user to save money. These algorithms will be patented, of course, to prevent any people from stealing our intellectual property and using it against us. To talk a little bit about marketing, we're going to be advertising mainly on platforms such as Twitter and YouTube. The vast majority of our population, our target population, is already located on these platforms. So it makes the most sense to go there to appeal to the ideal user, potential users. Hosting and technologies are basic, like geek speak, stuff like servers, API licensing, and hosting. Now we're going to talk a little bit about our competition. Our main competition we've identified to be Neat, which is another scanning app. They have been on the market for a longer time, and they're not just limited to receipts.
And that's because they only digitize them, while we actually perform advanced receipt analytics. And on top of that, there are no product suggestions whatsoever, and many users complain that it is very hard to use.
On top of that, they have not built in a reward system that further incentivizes the user for using the product. And here we have a couple of negative reviews for the competition. You can see these are mainly targeting customer service, and we believe that in this day and age that kind of stuff is no longer acceptable. That's why we're going to have 24/7 online support lines that anybody can go on to get any issues resolved, or if they have any suggestions for new features, they can go there too. The support line will communicate those with the development team so that those can be quickly implemented. So to recap, Smart Seats aims to truly revolutionize shopping with intuitive shopping suggestions and receipt analysis. We're guaranteed to be more feature-packed and detailed than any of the competition. Monetary savings, expense tracking, and shopping assistance are just some of the things users can experience with the receipt scanner of tomorrow. Thanks. Thank you for your time. Does anyone have any questions?
So in user terms,
yes.
The advanced analytics that you mentioned, what would be some examples of that?
Some examples of that. So say every day you're going to a grocery store like Giant, and you buy the same things every day. Our algorithms will pick up on that and basically tell you, we noticed that a good chunk of your spending is going towards these chips you're buying from this brand, but this brand, this other brand has similar reviews, customer satisfaction and a lower price. So we would suggest that you buy that next time.
So my question is, obviously your target audience is going to be college students, millennials, and you mentioned yourself that they're always looking for deals because they're broke.
Yeah.
My question is, with that type of a target audience, your objective is to produce sales.
Right.
When I was in college, I ate $1 hamburger helpers, so it was all about savings, not spending.
Right.
So how do you look to grow the company, continue to grow the revenue with a target audience that doesn't spend?
That's a great question. Actually, that target audience that I did pitch is just our initial where we're starting. Obviously, we can't start and say, oh, our target audience is and everyone. Like, nobody wants to hear that. That's not viable. We targeted college students specifically because, well, I'm a high school student, but I feel like this still applies to me. I realized that I was spending too much money. Every day after school, I would stop at like the grocery store and pick up a little something to eat, and I realized that I'm way broker than all my friends. So that's why we decided to start there and scale rather than starting by targeting, families or something. It is viable. It's definitely viable in every audience, but we decided to start there and scale up rather than target everyone at once and fail quickly.
Let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned customer service towards the end. The format that you talked about was more, geared to online customer service. Do you plan to have some type of phone customer service available? Because I'm an old guy, so
of course.
I like to pick up the phone and talk to people and know that my customer needs are going to be taken care of.
The online support lines were just an example of one of the facets of customer service that we would be providing, and of course, like phone service would be available. Although I'm not sure how you would call and use the app at the same time.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. And when you do have the customer service line available, are you plan to keep it local or are you plan to take it overseas?
Oh, this is going to be nationwide. A lot of the online customer service will actually be run through artificial intelligence bots that'll pick up on keywords such as like, I'm having trouble receipt scanning, and once it sees that, it'll maybe link to a video tutorial like, hey, this is how you scan receipts. I'm having trouble creating lists. Here's a step-by-step instruction on how to create lists. And if the bot can't pick up on anything, it'll immediately notify a standby customer support person, so they're not always busy.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
The judges will now collaborate for 10 minutes.
We're going to take about 10 minutes. There is food out there if you want to grab something.
Kevin, will you come up? Elizabeth, will you come up? I was telling my friends out in the hall that when I was in high school, just a couple years ago, that I could barely walk down the high school hall without hitting a locker, okay? And these kids today, my God, you guys are gonna just incredible. I'm at a loss for words, but what you guys presented today was amazing. Even if you're not the winner of the top prize, each of you should continue to pursue this dream, because I know we're going to hear from you in the future. Please give them a round of applause. I do want to thank the Culinary Arts program of the Career Tech Center for providing the food outside. But Malcolm Gladwell wrote that kids should practice 10,000 hours, but in his book, people lost sight of the true thesis of it, which was it takes a team to develop star athletes. But you know what? It takes a team to create students like we have up here on the stage. So to the parents in the audience, your teamwork to support their dreams cannot go unnoticed. And for this, we thank you. Good job, everybody. to Kelly and Levi. What a great job they did tonight. You guys were great. And I'm going to let them announce the winner of the $2,000 scholarship. To the winner and their family, I'm just going to ask them after we get some pictures and things with the check. Please come see me so I can talk to you about the process. The runners-up will get, each team will get a $100 gift card, Visa gift card to do with it as they like. And one last thing, judges, your questions, your probing, your comments, your reactions far outshone anything that was done last year, and you guys really put them to the test. I thought there might be some softballs, but you gave them inside fastballs all night. And these kids, high school juniors and seniors, to take your questions and to respond like they did, I'm scared of being up here right now trying to do questions for you. These kids to do it, you know. So thank you for your volunteerism tonight. That's all I've got.
And the winner of tonight's 2017 Startup Frederick competition and $2,000 is
Zephyr Beal Industries.
Congratulations.
We would just like to thank everybody who made this successful event tonight possible. Of course, we're talking our teachers, our staff, our parents, the business community, of course. We can't thank you enough. You know, win or lose tonight, this is, everyone had a great time, and we just want to thank you. We give one more round of applause for our competitors tonight. They did a great job.
Let's get a round of applause for all of our excellent competitors this evening. All right, and now I will hand it off to you.
Okay.
Take it away.
Okay, at this time, if you guys want to stay and talk to judges, we'll take pictures. We'll talk to your family and stuff. So congratulations, one and all. Thank you. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.